If you've ever found yourself struggling to get to sleep, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're diving into 5 proven, science-backed ways to fall asleep fast. And the best part? No pills or fancy gadgets required.
You know the feeling, right? It's the middle of the night, the house is completely silent. Your body is just exhausted, begging for sleep, but your brain is running a marathon, replaying old conversations, worrying about tomorrow, or just, refusing to shut down.
If you're nodding your head right now, I want you to know something really important. You are not broken, and you are absolutely not alone. This is one of the most common things people deal with as they get older.
Now, there's this really common myth out there that we just need less sleep as we get older. Well, that's just not true. You need just as much rest now as you did in your 40s. The real issue is that your body's sleep switch, if you will, has just gotten a little rusty. You know, the chemicals that tell your brain it's time to power down, they just aren't quite as strong as they used to be.
But here's the really good news. You can totally retrain that switch. Today, we're going to walk you through 5 powerful techniques that actually act as physiological triggers. They speak the language of your nervous system to help you fall asleep naturally.
So first up is a tool you already own, your own breath. This specific rhythm we're about to do is like a natural tranquilizer for your nervous system. See, when you can't sleep, you're often kind of stuck in fight or flight mode. This breathing pattern physically flips a switch in your brain that says, hey, we're safe, we can relax.
Okay, so this is called the 4-7-8 breath, and it's very specific. First, you're gonna place the tip of your tongue against the ridge of tissue right behind your upper front teeth. Keep it there the whole time. Now, inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. Then exhale completely through your mouth, make a little whoosh sound for a count of 8. Just 4 rounds of this can actually slow your heart rate and quiet your mind. It's pretty amazing. All right, next up, for anyone who feels physically restless, you know that feeling? Your legs are twitchy, you just can't get comfortable? We have what I like to call the body melt. Even when we lie down, we're subconsciously holding on to so much tension in our muscles. This technique basically forces that tension to just leave. The idea here is really simple. You can't relax a muscle if you don't even realize it's tense. So the technique involves systematically squeezing and then releasing different muscle groups. You'll start with your feet, work your way all the way up your legs, your arms, your shoulders, and yep, finally, your face. By the time you get to your head, your body's gonna feel heavy and warm and just loose.
Okay, let's talk about the biggest enemy of sleep, that racing mind. You can't just tell your brain to stop thinking, right? I mean, it doesn't work. Instead, you have to distract it with something kind of boring and totally nonsensical. This is called cognitive shuffling, or as I like to call it, the brain scramble.
So here's how this little brain hack works. You pick a simple, totally neutral word, something like bedtime. Then, for each letter, you visualize a series of completely unrelated words that start with that letter. The most important part here is you only picture them for a few seconds each.
So for the letter B, you might picture a bear, then a bouncing ball, a baby, a boat. See? These images are totally random. There's no story connecting them. And this works because the logical, worrying part of your brain just can't follow along. You're basically tricking your brain into the exact kind of fragmented thoughts that happen right before you fall asleep. Our 4th technique is actually a preventative measure you do before you even get into bed. Think of your brain like a computer. If you have way too many tabs open, it's gonna slow down and overheat, right? Well, if you go to bed with all your worries active, your brain will just try to keep them all running all night long.
So about 30 minutes before bed, grab a notebook. You're gonna make 2 columns. In the first one, you write down your worry. But here's the key. In the second column, you write down the very next actionable step. Not the whole solution, just the next small thing. This literally gives your brain permission to let it go. You've told it, hey, it's on paper. We've got a plan for tomorrow.
And finally, we have what might be the most powerful technique of all. This was actually developed by the US Navy to help pilots fall asleep in under 2 minutes, even in super high-stress, noisy environments. Now, it does take a little practice, but once you get it down, it's like a superpower.
This method kind of builds in layers, and it starts with the physical. First, you systematically relax your entire body. Start with your face, unclench your jaw, relax your tongue. Let your shoulders drop as low as they can possibly go. Then, as you exhale, feel your chest relax and let that feeling of looseness just flow down through your legs all the way to your feet.
Okay, now for the really crucial mental part. After your body is totally relaxed, you need to clear your mind for 10 seconds. The method works by holding one of two very specific, static images in your mind. It's either you lying in a canoe on a perfectly calm lake, looking up at a blue sky, or you lying in a black velvet hammock in a pitch black room.
But what if your mind wanders anyway? I mean, minds do that, right? Well, the military method has a brilliant, simple solution. You just repeat the words don't think, over and over for about 10 seconds. It sounds a little strange, I know, but it actually acts as a blocker, preventing other thoughts from sneaking in.
Before we wrap this up, I have one last bonus tip that acts as a sort of force multiplier for all of these techniques. It's all about temperature.
So, believe it or not, the ideal sleeping temperature is actually between 65 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 18 to 20 Celsius. Now, I know that probably sounds a little cool, but here's why. To fall asleep, your core body temperature needs to drop slightly. A warm room actually prevents that from happening.
And this right here is the magic combination. You keep the room cool, but you wear socks. I know, it seems counterintuitive, but warming your feet actually helps your blood vessels dilate. That allows your body to radiate heat more efficiently, which in turn cools your core and sends a powerful signal to your brain that it's time for sleep. So there you have it. You now have a full sleep toolkit. You've got the 4-7-8 breath to calm your nervous system, progressive muscle relaxation for physical tension, cognitive shuffling for that racing mind, the worry dump to plan ahead, and of course, the powerful military method.
Your body really does want to sleep. Sometimes we just have to help it remember how. So be patient with yourself and try these out. The only question left is, which tool are you going to use first? Good night and sleep tight.